Hi, I am Vandana Saxena with 30 years of experience in teaching and learning. Will share in this video 3 simple discussion strategies to engage student in productive discussion within class. If you like my video and if you like my thoughts, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends and your social media for others to learn and gain together. So the first thing that is the most challenging thing for a teacher in the classroom is to make the teaching learning relevant for the child's day-to-day living, connecting the classroom teaching to day-to-day living of the child. In fact, helping children realize that what they learn in class actually is something which will help them in living daily. That learning and living are not two separate compartments, but the experiences that come from one help to improve the other. And this can only happen if we engage the children in discussions and allow them and provide them space through simple use of tools within classroom to express their ideas and make them feel that they are equally valued. Such a culture, discussion culture in the classroom is, is very important to, to encourage uh, children in class, but can be done through simple game practices. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is how can we encourage every child within class to uh, read a prompt and write the answer, and this answer can then be shared with the rest of the class. So it works very well with the use of case studies. You can choose 3 to 4 case studies depending upon the level of the children. Keep them very short and simple and distribute those case studies to every child in the class and give them blank note cards. Give them a specific time. Attention to time is something that is important, with a flexibility of a couple of minutes, and ask them to read and write their reflection on the prompt that has been provided on the notepad. And after some time, a stipulated time, you can ask them to pass the case study paper to the next person and take the notepad from them and monitor and see all the 3-4 case studies have been passed to different children, and take the notepads and classify them in different groups. And now begins the interesting part, and which is very exciting and a wonderful space for automatic learning for everybody, the teacher and the children included. This comes from the mindset where every child believes that what I think could believe that what I think is the best and the correct way of thinking. Or even some children who are underconfident and don't give value to their thinking and hence hesitate to express themselves. So if you begin the first case study and start reading the responses that have come from the different children and give constructive feedback to those responses, it'll be wonderful for everybody to know that the same case study generated different types of thoughts. When the same experience elicits different responses in people and we provide a platform to express openly to the group, learning begins to happen. And there is a mindset shift and flexibility among people where they actually learn to believe, they'll actually learn to value themselves. And for the others who are sometimes the only ones speaking in class and overconfident of themselves, learn that even by keeping quiet, people can have wonderful and great ideas. The second strategy that I'm going to talk about is thinking in pairs and the sharing of ideas with the entire group after research through a gallery walk. So in this strategy, what we can do is, before teaching the content, This time, instead of the normal conversation method of teaching a content, you can keep 3 to 4 visuals related to the content. You can announce the content, what you're about to teach in the class, and produce 4 different pictures to be put out in the 4 corners of the classroom, and give an opportunity for children to select their favorite picture and go to the corner and stay there in front of them, their favorite picture. So give them an opportunity to choose what they like amongst the 4 pictures, and let them go and stand there. Then you can make pairs out of the children who stood on the same picture and ask them to research about that picture by giving them access to technology. And if that's not possible, then you can keep some research reading material ready for them, and in pairs they can research about their favorite picture and answer the prompt that is given specifically to them, and they write down their research material, and 2 pairs from the same group then they get together and create content, put it on sticky notes and place it on soft boards in the class. And thus we are setting up a gallery walk, and at the end of the lesson allow the children to walk to all the 4 corners and reflect through discussion about what they learned from the learning that happened right within the classroom. We need to break away from the mindset that the children will only be able to learn through self-study once they are at home. And this will make the classroom more engaging and more relatable to children who are present in the class. And the more engaged they are, the more excited, because it looks like a game now. Once they realize that by paying attention to class, their learning will be meaningful and complete. It will save them the time of studying. Even during play hour, beyond school hours, children will be excited to learn through this strategy. The third strategy that connects students with multiple classmates through discussion is by dividing them into groups of 3 each. So the first step is you divide the class into groups of 3 each and assign roles to them. So one child can be a scribe, writing down, given the role to write down. The second one is a timekeeper, and one is a speaker. So this distributes prompts to different groups, and the time begins. After a little discussion about the prompt amongst the group of 3, the speaker will speak and the scribe will write their input, and the timekeeper keeps the time. This is one set of discussions between one group of 3. The next thing you do is you circulate participants. You can move, the timekeeper stay in their own group, but the scribe moves to the next group and the speaker goes to 2 groups forward, and the same process is repeated. Namely, after a discussion amongst the 3 participants about the prompt, a short discussion, the speaker will speak, timekeeper continues to keep the time, and the scribe writes down the inputs. This process of shifting groups continues till the time that the timekeepers announce that every group has been covered and the speaker comes back to the original group. After that, the timekeepers can read out the note cards with inputs to the same prompt coming from different groups, and the whole class can poll for their favorite. So, keeping every voice alive in class, the children will not only be able to express themselves to different prompts at different times, but also hear other ideas flowing, and this gives them the ability to evaluate responses of others as well. Try these 3 different strategies. They are very, very effective, and you get better with them once you experience them in class, and children themselves can fine-tune these practices and convert it into a game. And the day you enter a class and you announce that today we are going to have a discussion through these different activities, you will find excitement level of children rising in class, and you will automatically have them quote examples from their real day-to-day life, which will make learning in classroom relevant to their day-to-day learning, while encouraging them to discuss and express their own ideas.